This is The Wheel Weaves, a Wheel of Time podcast with no spoilers. Hey everyone, I'm your host Dani, and I'm the first-time reader going through this series chapter by chapter. As always, there's no spoilers past the chapter we're covering, and that means it's totally safe for first-time readers. I'm joined by my co-host Brett, who's a longtime fan, and he's guiding me on this journey. We'd like to thank and acknowledge our executive producers, Brandy and Kirkwood, Sean McGuire, Yanis, LightBlindedFool, Green Man, Deyvis Ferreira, Margaret, Big C, Bennett Williamson, Dylan C, Hannah Green, Noralia, Jordan Gower, and Geof Searles. And before we get into things today, we just want to thank and welcome Rachel to the Wheel Weaves Patreon team. Thank you so much for your generosity and your support. We really, truly appreciate it. In this episode, we're talking about chapter 34 and 35 of Knife of Dreams.
Yeah, chapter 34 is A Cup of Kaf, and chapter 35 is The Importance of Dyelin.
Yeah, which, threw me right off, especially because I was like, ooh, should I not like Dyelin? And then there's a chapter that's like about Dyelin. I was like, oh no, am I going to be right?
No, not even a little bit. I don't know what has made you so suspicious of all people, like Dyelin.
Brigida made me suspicious because she doesn't like Dyelin, and I like Brigida and trust her.
Well, it was like one offhanded comment one time.
No, but it's like the first time we've been in Brigida's head in a really long time where she has a very pointed thought about not liking Dyelin and Dyelin not liking her.
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa, who doesn't like Brigida? Like, you're someone I clearly don't like if you don't like Brigida.
Okay.
So
okay.
My radar went up a little bit.
Anyways, so I guess so.
Yeah. Turns out people can just not like each other and like not have nefarious intent.
Yeah, they're just like both very like hard-headed, strong people.
Yeah.
And they probably disagree on things.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah. But, in this series, I gotta look out for everything.
True. Okay.
Right?
Yeah,
Usually when someone's like, I got a bad feeling about this person, it's like, ooh, we should take note, especially when we trust that person.
Right. Okay. Well,
anyway,
we'll talk about it when we get there.
We sure will. Okay, so I got to read 2 chapters.
Yeah, very fun.
Yep.
And since this is the third last chapter now, I have some fun facts on chapter symbols.
Ooh,
it's a little bit
You're
early.
Not going to make me guess chapter symbols yet, are you?
I am.
No, that's today.
It's a little bit early.
I'm not even a little bit prepared.
Perfect.
I've been doing a lot of audio booking.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Well, we know we talk about it at the beginning.
I know,
of each
but
chapter.
I don't remember the things I say.
Okay. All right. Well, you know what? Here we go. This is how it's going to be in Knife of Dreams. Usually, you at least get
Remember
to see...
that time I really threw you off and I had kept track the whole book?
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, that's not fun.
Not this time.
Even a little. I actually forgot this was coming.
Okay, so why don't we just stick to this book for like starters?
Okay.
And just start me off here. What was the most popular chapter symbol? And again, we still technically have like 3 more that we're going to see. So like it's a little bit unfair to quiz you, but I'm still going to do it.
All right. I have to just go with our wheel and snake.
As the number 1 spot?
Yeah.
Okay. Any guess as to how many times it showed itself?
5.
Okay. That's a pretty good guess. So you're right. It is wheel and snake.
Nice. Okay.
7 occurrences though.
Ooh, okay, 7.
The most. And that's pretty significant, pretty hefty. Now, coming in, number 2 spot.
I said I symbol.
Not even a little bit.
Shoot.
Wrong. You came in too confident. Okay, you got to mix it up
That
now.
one usually comes in pretty high.
It does usually. Not this book, though.
Is it the wolf?
Close, but no. Actually, it's not close. Nope.
Oh.
Never mind.
Okay.
Because that's the same as the Flame of Tarvalon.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. What happened to this book?
Yeah,
Let me think.
Who do we hear from?
Who did we hear from? Because that usually matters quite a bit. Okay, I'm embarrassed. I actually don't even really know. Maybe like the Aiel, Buckler, and Spears?
Okay, No, though. Also the same. So that had 2 occurrences. Same with the Flame of Tarvalon. Same with the Wolf. All 2 occurrences.
Okay.
Very few, right? Didn't even make it into the ranking.
Yee. Okay.
I'll give you a hint here.
Yeah, okay.
We hear about his escapades. It's a pretty big focus in the first chapter.
Ooh. Shanshan helmet?
No.
Oh.
The escapades
Dragon Reborn.
of Matrim Cawthon.
Dice.
There you go. Okay. Coming in at number...
Oh my god, that was probably the worst I've ever done this.
Yeah, number 2, 4 occurrences of the 5 dice.
4, huh? Okay.
Yeah. Okay, any guesses for... It's actually a tie for number 3.
Shanshan helmet.
3 occurrences
Is it
each.
Shanshan helmet?
Nope, that's also 2.
Okay, Dark Friend Faces.
Also 2.
Oh my gosh. Lion of Andor.
There you go.
Okay.
That came in third, tied for third with 3 occurrences. Who tied it? What was it?
Flammatar Valen.
No, you
already
said
told
that.
me that one. Frick. Oh my gosh. Dragon Reborn?
Nope.
Oh.
They like boats.
Sea folk.
Yeah.
The sea folk symbol. Okay.
Which is the?
Bird and star.
There you go.
Birds
okay.
and star. Okay.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
So we did get 2 new symbols in this book too, the snakes and foxes and the blacksmith puzzle.
Oh, right. And the blacksmith puzzle threw me off because we had a chapter one time called that.
Right.
Or something like that.
Exactly.
Okay. Well, there you go.
Yeah. Now, for anyone who's keeping track, which I know you're not, but there might be people out there, the most popular from book 1 to 11, I've got the total rankings right now. So number 1, Wheel and Snake with 60 occurrences. And it actually moved up a lot this book because there were so many compared to the second ranking, Flammatar Valen, which is now at 53 occurrences.
Oh, and it like barely got any this book.
Exactly.
So,
Yeah, so pretty tough.
Got it.
Coming in next is the 5 dice at 33 occurrences. So that's pretty interesting that the third most common chapter symbol is Matt.
It's Matt.
It's pretty great.
Yeah, and those dice didn't even really come into play till like later on.
That's right. That's right. Book 3, actually. So now the dragon symbol has 29 occurrences and is tied with the wolf.
Okay.
At 29 occurrences. And then we've got a new contender who's working its way up on the leaderboard because previously we had the dragon's fang symbol at 24 occurrences. And in this book, the Lion of Andor tied it up, 24 occurrences. So they are now on the scoreboard.
Okay, well.
Very exciting.
Today, I do not think I should purchase the lottery ticket. That did not go well.
No.
Somebody asked me if I ended up getting a lottery ticket last time. And I was like, no. I don't get lottery tickets.
Yeah.
I don't do that. But yeah, that's funny.
Okay.
All right. Now, I'm going to need help.
Right. I have a diagram assisting for later on.
It's just so confusing. In the first chapter and in the second chapter.
Oh, really? In the first chapter too?
Kind of, yeah.
Okay.
Kind of.
Okay, that's more like recap because it's been
It's
little
recap,
while.
But it's just been so long. And I think I know who this is,
Okay.
but you're going to have to help me out. So chapter 34 is a Cup of Kaf, and it's the Shan Chen helmet chapter symbol.
Right.
And this guy whose name kind of looks like fuck.
It's Furyk Kharid.
Furyk
He's got the coolest name in the whole series.
Although, when I read it, my brain did a thing where I was like, what? And I read Kadir.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's very similar, just that R&D.
Yep.
Switch up. And I was like, Kadir, that guy's a skin suit. What do we do?
Pretty sure
what
he's
do we
dead.
do with him? No, Kharid.
Yes. Okay.
And he's a Death Watch guard. And that's what I know about him.
Okay.
No, I know
that's
more.
Not
okay,
enough.
I know.
Okay, I'll give a quick recap.
I know more about him, but
tell us.
It
has been a while since we saw him leaving on this mission. So that was Crossroads of Twilight, chapter 4. So beginning of last book.
Oh, yeah.
Is when we saw this. But we saw Kharid and the group that he's with here. They were setting off on the secret mission because Kharid had the meeting with the Seeker. And then he's trying to piece together the whole plot involving Tuon and the disappearance of her. And he figures that it's some sort of Aes Sedai scheme. And that Tom Marilyn is the 007 spy agent from Tar-Valon.
We get that here in this chapter too.
Yeah, and then we did get to see them setting off on the mission when they like turn off the road into the forest, and he has 100 Death Watch guards with him, Ogier gardeners, and then a bunch of Suldam and 6 Damani, and it's like a very dedicated task force on the secret mission to find Tuon.
Right.
So, and that's when we saw him.
But before, wasn't Kadir in cahoots with like Bethamin?
Kharid.
Yeah. What did I say?
Kadir.
Shoot.
Can't do that
That's
this chapter.
That's going to be a problem. Okay. Whoops. So Kharid was previously in cahoots with like Bethamin, right?
Sort of. He was questioning because now he's thinking about Suroth being in some sort of cahoots because of the whole Bethamin, Seta, Rena, they disappeared, and he's piecing it together and just coming up a little bit wrong on what actually happened.
Yeah, but I thought he was like working with one of them.
Sort of.
And that's when Rena and Bethamin sort of like started talking again.
So you say working with, but that's like he's blackmailing her basically to like be involved in this.
But she was also thinking like, ooh, this actually might be a bit of an out for me.
Yeah.
I think.
It was very messy and very dangerous for everybody involved. But now that Tuon is missing, his dedication right now is to find her because we got like a very heartfelt story about how he actually cares about her too. But anyways, we actually do know like a lot about this guy.
He cares about Tuon?
Yeah.
Well, everyone cares about Tuon.
Like as a father figure almost. Like not like a father, but like as a protector figure.
Okay.
Yeah. He's the guy who like asked for transfers and stuff. Anyways, not important. Anyways, he's here. They're on the mission, and they left, and that's when Matt decided to just basically hang out right beside Abu Dar. So they went out on the mission to search for Tuon, and they just basically hunkered down right by the city.
I remember that, yeah.
Yeah, okay, so that's kind of where we pick up now.
Okay, so we have KoD, who's leading a group of Death Watch guards, and Ogier into a Seanchan camp because he needs to meet with the commander here, and we're getting caught up to speed on what's happening because it's been almost 4 weeks of chasing rumors since they left Abu Dar in search of Tuon.
Yeah.
And finally news has brought him to this camp here in East Central Altara. And so is that where Matt was doing all his stuff? Or is all this stuff talking about, is that Matt
it's literally
and his crossbow bolts and all of that?
Yes, because the next thing he notices, he's like, oh, there's 1,000 soldiers here in the camp, and all these soldiers... No Raken, but we know that the Raken are currently on some sort of secret mission. They got pulled away, basically, for something the Seanchan are planning. We don't actually know what that is yet. But the 1,000 soldiers here, they're all armored up. And he's like, that's kind of weird, because if you're in camp, you don't keep your armor on. That's not good for...
you're just like waiting for an attack.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then he thinks, oh, well, if the rumors I've heard are true, then it's not so strange. They probably are waiting for an attack, because we're going to get the recap here that Matt and the band have been on an absolute rampage in Altara.
Yeah, I just didn't know they were in Central. I thought they were like closer to...
They're all over the
border.
place.
I thought they were like more north.
Matt's army is spanning like 300 miles. They are motoring. They are going at this.
Right. And now, are they traveling?
No,
they're just going.
Matt has the quickest band, quickest traveling army
and
in the
we
world.
got that last time. Before Matt even went to Abu Dar in the first place.
Yeah.
When they were marching to, like, Tyr?
Yeah, and I did a whole thing. He was like, I'm going to make these guys march. I'm going to have the fastest moving army ever. Yeah. I did a whole fun fact about the realism about moving this fast.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
Yeah,
sure.
Perfect. Okay, great.
Yeah. Okay, so we get a description of this camp as KoD heads to the command tent, and we also learn he has some captain with him, and he has the first gardener, Ogier guy with him.
Yeah, Hartha is the first gardener.
It's super interesting to hear his thoughts and description on Ogier.
Yeah.
And how they're usually very like calm and mild-tempered unless they have an axe in battle. Right. Then they're like bloodthirsty, crazy monsters, and it's like, what?
So cool.
No, that's
they're
not
gardeners.
Cool.
They prune people.
No, not Ogier.
Oh, these Death Watch guard Ogier?
Oh,
they kill.
My
well,
gosh.
Even the entire conversation that Hartha, the Ogier guy, says with Captain Musenji, because they're like, oh, there's a whole backstory here too. Like how this happened
to the Ogier on opposite sides of the world. Reminds me so much of the Aiel story, where we have the Way of the Leaf stemming from the Aiel and also the Warrior Society stemming from the two extremes. And it's like, it's
very cool.
It is, very duality there for sure.
Yeah.
But what we're doing here is trying to find out information about the High Lady.
Yeah, kind of, sort of. He's trying to figure out what's happening with all these attacks, because he's heard rumors about the attacks, and now he's getting information that's going to lead him to some decisions. But it's kind of funny, too, because the whole Captain Musenji and the first gardener, they're having a conversation about how everyone's being super disrespectful, and even the Ogier's like, we're not going to kill anyone now.
But
once we're done, we will later. We can kill everybody we want to after we find Tuon. We just got to wait. So, clearly they're not just peaceful, loyal, Ogiers. So
absolutely no.
He's ready for it.
Yeah, and we do get a bit of a background on the reason for all of these insults, and it's because of all the rumors that are going around that everyone's believing of the tale of Death Watch guards' involvement with a girl pretending to be the High Lady Tuon and extorting people for money.
Yes.
And I have a question
rumors.
for you.
Yeah.
Is this girl who's going around pretending to be Tuon, is this Semirog?
So is
Semirog extorting merchants for money, using her disguise? Because she was at one point, because when I was reading it at first, it was like, ooh, tales of someone being disguised as Tuon. And my brain was like, oh, that just happened. I just saw that. And then it kind of went going, and I was like, oh no, never mind. That's a different thing. And then I sort of forgot about the whole thing where people were like, oh yeah, Small Dark Woman was stealing jewels and stuff.
We did hear about that back in Abu Dar, and it was such a tiny. It wasn't actually a very big plot line.
No, it was
and
small.
It was kind of weird.
Yes, it was.
So there's just like a lot of scheming and stuff happening right now, and it seems like it's all been lumped into the secondary of these tales, which is the real one that Tuon's life is actually in danger from the Shanshan army itself.
Right, because Suroth planted the idea that there's an imposter who needs to be killed.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, so like that's all part of the big plan. So we'd have to assume Semirog's got her hands dipped in this because she's obviously very involved on everything that's happening with Tuon right now.
Right. I just like to think that Semirog has no plans except for that she just wanted to get some money.
Yeah, she's a little bit short right now. And
yeah, she's just going to pretend to go around and extort merchants for money.
Instead of just, compelling people and taking their money.
Maybe that's what she's doing, though.
Maybe. Yeah, right, okay. Anyways, whole bunch of stuff, but he's shocked that that's the thing that's happening and he's crazy, but a lot of disrespect going around.
Okay, so KoD enters the command tent and introduces himself, and he wants to speak to the commander, and then the commander guy orders everyone out and introduces himself, and this guy's name is Loon?
Yeah, Gamal Loon, yeah, it's,
We don't know.
We haven't met him before, name. It's not super important.
Okay.
Commander here.
Okay, so now there is a bit of a back and forth because this guy clearly doesn't respect KoD, and KoD is going to assure the commander that he's not here to interfere or anything, and he's heard about the difficulties in Altara recently, and he's just going to find out what's going on and leave.
Yeah, there is like a little bit of backstory on the Shanshan hierarchy that is very interesting. There's actually like a lot of Shanshan stuff if you care about the continent and the world building. Like this is a very heavy Shanshan world building chapter.
Right, yes.
So like maybe on a reread we can dive a little bit further into it.
Sure, and I mean like what I picked up really was that the Death Watch guards are Dakoval, like their property to the Empress.
They are.
But they're still like above everyone else.
Exactly. So they're half a rank higher of whoever. So KoD and this Loon guy are both banner generals, but since KoD is a Death Watch guard, he's slightly above, so he legitimately could take over operations here.
Yeah.
But he's not going to. So that's why he's like, "Hey, I'm not here for that. I'm here for info."
Got it. And then also we learn about the mountains and stuff. Coffee, Yeah,
the pure iJazz Mountains brew expensive coffee.
Oh, that's what I want.
The funniest thing? They have the back and forth, and he's trying to be civil because there is disrespect, but he's trying to play it off. But he's like, oh, if this guy didn't offer me coffee right now, I would literally have to kill him for it.
Yeah,
it's like, I come into your house.
And it's funny because they bring the calf, and the guy even like hesitates slightly and has this look on his face like he doesn't want
I don't want to give you the expensive coffee.
Yeah, but he does.
He better.
Well, and even the servant who comes in is like, I waited until now because I know you don't want to share your coffee.
The good one, yeah. It is really funny. Anyways, and this guy does have like a manservant also that is very similar to KoD's, like Ajimbura, his little manservant from the, he's kind of crazy guy who's like drinking out of the skull cup. He's got a manservant. They both have manservants.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Anyways, it's really not that important, but very protective of their manservants.
Of course, why wouldn't you be?
Yeah.
All right. Well, now they're going to get into the details of the difficulties, and the commander guy explains that in the last week, there have been 4 large battles and about 60 ambushes and raids spread out all over 300 miles, and he figures there must be 6 to 8 different armies involved, and they have like Aes Sedai and maybe even Ashaman with him because there's explosions that are happening, and the Damani are like not caused by the power.
Yeah.
So lots of things going on. And it's funny because it's all coming back to me as we're talking about it. And KoD was the one who got all of the information like exactly correct and still came out with the wrong answer at the end.
Yeah.
Right? Because he had everything laid out. He's like, this, and then this, and then this. So obviously it means Tom Marilyn, puppeted by the White Tower. And I'm like, what?
Yeah, it's like totally
like,
wrong.
No.
All the facts,
nobody.
But just not quite.
And that's kind of what happens here too. Because he takes all the facts and then he's like, obviously this is traveling.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
And obviously this is Tom Marilyn.
Well, the issue is that he knows the experience of Rand's army, the attack on Abu Dar, how it was one army who was jumping around. He's like, oh, well, that's how they do it.
Yeah.
And Matt's army is doing something similar where like a bunch of different strike points tiny forces, but they're getting all the numbers wrong for how many people are in these armies because of the amount of crossbow bolts that are being launched into people. We know that's not from the number of soldiers, but rather the new
fancy click, click, click.
Exactly.
Crossbolts.
Bang, 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 bang. The automatic machine gun crossbow that they have. So they're launching so many. So he's getting this information, and they're like, there's got to be like 20, 30,000 of them all in like one army, and there's 8 of them.
Yeah. Think that.
And
I don't give a fuck. You definitely think that.
Well, the really funny part too is they do have Aes Sedai, so Matt does have the couple Aes Sedai, but he doesn't have Ashaman. But they're like, oh, there's explosions.
Yeah, that's a Ludra.
It's a Ludra.
Yeah,
it's a Ludra with her new fancy stuff, which is really funny. But he doesn't. He doesn't have as many soldiers as they think, and
they don't have Ashaman.
They don't have Ashaman, but the other part is they're like, hey, what have you learned from the prisoners you've taken? Yeah. And then the commander's like, well...
We don't have any prisoners.
Yeah, if you want to take prisoners, you got to win a battle. And
we've literally never done that.
Which is fantastic.
Yeah, go Matt.
It's so good because they're like, this is so amazing, like incredible from a military perspective that they are wiping the floor with the Shanshan.
Yep.
And now there's rumors in the Shanshan soldier camps that they're not fighting people, they're fighting spirits. Because Matt's band,
because of all the ghosts.
Well, not only that, but they take their dead with them. Matt's band takes the dead. So there's never anybody, like, remaining.
Oh.
So it's just, and maybe partially because of actual ghosts.
I doubt it. Well, I bet some people have seen ghosts.
Yeah.
And so they're like, it must be the ghost army.
Makes sense.
And this is what I've been saying.
Matt's the ghost army.
This is what I've wanted. I wanted ghost army.
And you kind of get it.
No, I don't.
A little bit.
I absolutely do not get ghost army. This doesn't count.
Maybe Matt and the band have been dead all along.
No.
Okay.
But Matt does have a bunch of dead guys in his head. Does that count?
Yeah. Okay. A little bit. Trying to think how I can justify that. Maybe. A little bit.
Okay. Well, KoD is nodding thoughtfully along, and...
I love how he doesn't tell him anything either.
And what's really good, though, is he's pretty good at his job, and he ends up making this guy feel kind of at ease, because he had his back up at first, and he didn't want to share a lot, and then he starts just, like, gabbing away.
Right.
Right?
Yeah, he does.
And so, you gotta have a good person to get... that kind of information out.
He is good at the facts gathering. He's bad at the summarization and the report building.
Yes.
It's like, and what did you find?
Right. Okay. So this is where he's like speculating that the White Tower must have sent their very best to kidnap Tuon, and perhaps the real name of Tom Merrilin is in fact Agelmar or Gareth Bryn, because he's heard of these great captains.
Yeah, so they've done some research that the Randland area has great captains, but they figure Tom Merrilin must be like a code name.
Must be one of them.
And you know what? We got to give it to Matt. He's operating as if he is a great captain.
Absolutely he is. Yes. Yeah, his name should be added to the list.
Totally. I mean, he definitely has some help.
Although, it would be more helpful if he had, like, a pseudonym.
Sure.
Like, if Matt went by a different name.
Yeah, okay.
Like Ken Adams or something,
Why would that be helpful?
Well, because then people would know. Oh, it's Matt. No. We want, like, lots. Oh, no, it's a different guy this time.
Okay.
It'd be better for Matt,
Sure. Like to keep him protected, or...
Mm-hmm.
I barely understand the point you're making.
I don't know.
Here.
I just think that'd be better.
Okay, you want a fake name for Matt?
Yes, like Tom Merrilin, who's clearly going by a fake name.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyways, KoD's like, "Yep, I figured it out. That's what it is." But now we've got new information coming in, so this is actually huge.
Can you tell me about it?
Okay, so KoD's like, okay, so do you have a plan to deal with all these armies that are murdering all of our soldiers across the countryside? And the guy's like, nope, because we have General Chizin is bringing his entire army back from the Malvide Narrows because the orders from the Terrasen Palace have said this is important enough to risk opening up Andor and Mirandi to attack, especially considering reports right now that say that neither Andor nor Mirandi are even capable of attacking Shanshan right now. So, Matt's entire plan, his whole plan, was there's a big army, Shanshan army, that's blockading the pass that is going to let us escape and get into Andor.
Right.
And he's like, we're going to attack, and we're going to do so many attacks on the Shanshan, we're going to wipe the floor with them so bad.
Something about, like, unplugging
we're gonna make them move their army to come and find us, and then we're going to go, whoop, and we're going to go through the pass.
And we're going to leave, yeah.
That is happening right now.
Oh, good. Okay.
So they're pulling the army out of the Malvide Narrows, the gap.
Oh, that's where we want to go.
That's where
because the other
Yes.
pass was
into Ilion.
Mudslided.
Yeah, and it's
I don't know how to describe that.
Yeah, it's gone
It's
now.
gone.
It's gone
Yeah.
now. So Matt has been 100% successful in his campaign to get them to leave the gap, and the Shanshan also have information that Andor is not in a position to attack them, which is totally true.
Yes.
Like, Elaine is clearly dealing with other stuff right now.
Oh, yeah.
And
yeah,
Brandy...
all of their armies are for sure tied up.
Yeah, and Brandy never was going to do anything anyways, so
No.
it doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
So anyways, now we've got information that the army is coming out.
I get it. Elaine is tied up. I'm just laughing at my own joke.
What?
I said their armies are tied up, but it's Elaine. She's tied up.
Oh, because kidnapping?
Because kidnapping.
Right, okay.
From before. She was...
Right.
Okay, sorry.
Right. Yeah, that's okay. And then again, Creed's like, yep, more confirmation that this crazy battle plan is Tom Maryland, the great captain.
Great
pulling
captain,
strings.
obviously. And it's the White Tower doing it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And little does he know, the White Tower is like the least powerful thing in the world right now.
Yeah. It's
Seriously,
like they're not.
They have no idea what's going on. They have the worst informant strategy.
They halfway don't believe the Shanshan are even a thing.
Yeah. Nope.
Yeah.
I know. It's so stupid.
It's not good.
He's giving them so much credit. And I'm like, stop it. Stop giving the White Tower credit. I like it. Like, I think it's funny that he's gotten it all wrong and, like, that's good. However, quit it.
Yeah.
Quit giving the White Tower so much credit.
Well, it's like the Shanshan come in as this, like, super competent military and force.
Yeah.
And very, like, hierarchical nation. And they're dealing with a bunch of people here that are
they're like,
not...
obviously, like, they don't enslave their channelers. The channelers rule the world. Obviously, the channelers are the most powerful.
Exactly.
That's why we collar them.
They must be doing everything.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's like, no, everyone in Randland, basically everyone's incompetent. Like, nobody is actually doing anything very useful right now.
No, except for Matt.
Yeah.
Matt currently...
And even debatable, like, I could make the argument, like, hey, Andor might be in a position to attack Shanshan had Elaine just taken the throne when Rand could have given it to her.
Oh, yes.
Because you could have,
Absolutely.
accumulated the entire countryside.
And I mean, like, next chapter, I do have a few questions.
Sure.
And not like, what's going on?
Let's not jump into it yet.
No. But I'm saying some questions about why they're so against Elaine taking the throne.
Yeah.
Because that's something I've never really stopped and thought about until this chapter.
I have answers for you.
Okay.
But later.
Okay.
Let's finish this first.
All right.
Because now this is the big ending that should be like a oh no situation if you followed along with what's happening.
I might have.
Okay. So basically, conversation's over. Creed is very polite. He leaves. And they leave the camp.
Well, and I like that the commander's like surprised by the like nice formality that he gives, and it's like it would be insulting not to,
right,
even if we hate each other.
But it's like a lot of rumors flying around right now about the Death Watch guards. So anyways, so they leave, and then once they're out of the camp, Kharid says, hey, we're heading towards the Malvide Narrows.
Ooh.
And the lights shine on us that we arrive before the High Lady does, and he thinks about, like, I'm going to go get Tuon back. So now we've got Matt, who's done this big strategic plan to draw the forces out, and Kharid has recognized that the Shanshan army has been pulled out, and he's thinking that Tuon is being kidnapped to be brought to Tar Valon, but they can't travel. They can't capital T travel, so they have to make it through this gap.
Yes.
So now he's like, oh, it's a race between us racing to this gap and Matt's army racing to the gap to get through first.
Yeah.
So they're both heading to the same place.
Okay. No, I did not pick up on that for sure.
So Kharid's like, again,
I know that he's after Tuon, and he's like, I'm going to go straight to Tar Valon if I have to, even if they do get there before me. Like, I'm hunting them down.
Exactly.
But, this will be interesting.
So basically, he got all the facts right again. He got to the right place. He's even going to go to the place where Matt is supposed to be going right now.
Yeah.
But Matt wants to go to Andor.
With a lot of wrong conclusions.
The wrong conclusions.
And he truly believes that Tom Maryland is at work here.
Yeah, it's so good.
Because he's going to show up and be like, I want to speak to Tom Maryland. And Tom will be like, I'll juggle for you. Like, why?
Yeah. So funny.
Yeah. That'll be good.
Yeah, well, maybe.
That'll be interesting to see, I think.
It'll be interesting to see.
I do think we'll have a run-in. I think we'll finally have some sort of, like, conclusion to this whole capture Tuon.
Yeah, they're both heading to the same spot right now. So, I mean, okay.
Ooh, okay. Prediction. Ready?
Okay, sure, yeah.
So, they're going to be in the same spot. we're going to have this big thing, but then Tuon isn't going to want to go.
Oh, okay.
And then that's when she's going to officially marry Matt back.
Ooh.
And be like, I'm with my husband.
Oh.
Right? My husband, my husband, right? Like that's a Beetlejuice situation.
Yes.
Right?
Exactly that.
And then it's like, what are they supposed to do? If she's like, I'm actually not kidnapped, I'm here with my husband.
Well, I mean, even if Tuon doesn't want to go, she can just be like, I'm not going.
No, I know, but I think it might be like a...
Yeah.
I think that might be the situation. Because at some point, she's going to have to say it.
Yeah.
It's the prophecy or whatever.
Yeah.
That he marries her.
Yeah.
So...
It's fated.
It's fated.
Fated, yep.
I don't know. I just want to see that happen sooner than later, you know?
Sure. No, I like it. It's
Although
good prediction.
she has been gross and driving me kind of crazy.
But, you know.
But I want a resolution to all of this.
It's fate.
Yes.
It's got to happen.
Exactly.
But who knows when.
I think that'll be interesting.
All right.
That's my prediction.
That'll be a big meeting.
Okay. So I'm going to go write that down. I'm going to grab a new drink.
Okay. And then we can talk about the importance of Dyelin.
And then we can go on to the next chapter.
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good. Okay. So we're back. Hello?
Yeah. Here we go. Jumping into the Andor politics. I'm excited because in preparation for this episode, You
made me a visual.
A visual, yeah.
I love it. I'm going to take a picture of it and put it in our Discord.
I'm pretty proud of it. I think I did a pretty good summary of what's going on with the whole Andor succession.
It might help me out quite a bit because my issue is my notebook. Like, if I don't have it with me, then I don't know who's talking or why.
Yep.
And I try to figure it out as I go along. And partway through, it's like, oh, that's who that was. But then I missed, like, the last 3 pages of what was going on.
Yeah.
So it's hard. And we have names like...
This chapter?
Elena and Elorian. And we have names like Pelivar and Pelivar. Paravel.
Yeah.
And so it's like, these are the same names. Well, like, I don't know who's where and what's going on.
It's kind of funny because this chapter is specifically very difficult too because there are 19 houses, like big houses that are contenders for the throne here. And in this chapter, we get all of them.
Named.
And we get all 19. They're all referenced
this chapter. And they're all in the same room? And then the one guy is, or lady is away.
But they're all here. But the other complicated part is that they all go by their first names.
Sometimes.
But they're all listed by their last names for their houses.
Yeah.
Sometimes. So it's like we have to know all 19
I love this.
names.
It's even color-coded.
Yeah. I did
drew a little jail.
I did. I think it's pretty good. And
I love it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we can jump into this officially and we can figure out what the heck is happening.
Okay. I love that this is here. And I'm going to let you take most of the reins on what's going on. I can talk to a couple plot points.
Okay.
So we have chapter 35, the importance of Dyelin, and the chapter symbol's the lion. And like I said at the beginning of this episode, this chapter title threw me off a little bit only because I was starting to be a little bit suspicious of Dyelin's intentions here. I thought she might turn on Elaine.
Even though she's throwing chairs at assassins for Elaine.
Lots of people, that's your only thing that she's done. I mean,
that's like the biggest...
No, listen though. If that is your only argument, my argument is that Dyelin Mellar threw a sword at assassins for Elaine.
We should be trusting Dyelin a lot more than we are.
See, that's what I'm telling you. Like, you gotta have more than that for me. And I don't know enough about what she's doing. Going off to meet with houses. Like, I was getting skeptical.
Fine. She's the reason Elaine gets to be queen.
And now she is, yeah. And I like how at the beginning here, really, Elaine is like, are you sure you don't want it?
Yeah.
Right? And we'll talk about it. And I was like, oh, this is your Chad's Dyelin. This would be so much better.
Yeah.
Like, this would be so much better, honestly.
But at this point, would you be like, yeah, I guess so. Okay, sure. Let's do a flippity flop.
No, at this point, no. But I thought maybe there was some kind of overturn in the works.
Sure.
But now that Elaine has, like, all of this published support, I was just taking your word for it that like matters. So.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So let's dive into it.
Okay. So we're going to enter an Elaine perspective, and we learn that 2 days have passed since the whole Caemlyn battle, and now Elaine is having a meeting with the grandson of someone.
Arethel. Yeah. So she's one of the undecided. So we have, as a summary, after the whole big Caemlyn battle where Elaine captured Arimella, we had the 6 houses who are currently undecided.
Mm-hmm.
or rather undeclared for like what they want to do. They were on their way to Camelin, and Elaine was worried like, oh, are they going to like start sieging me now? Like, what's actually
like,
happening?
What are they doing? Why are they doing it? Right.
So Arethel is one of those 6. So she sent her grandson as a messenger to be like, hey, we want a meeting.
Yes, boy.
Yeah.
Elaine is so ageist. It's crazy.
Oh, yeah. Super duper.
So crazy. She's like, ugh, what a boy.
Yeah. Probably he's like 2 years younger than you.
I know. Even with these others that she's like, oh, what a boy this guy is. And I'm like, I have in my notes he's 16.
Yeah.
So like,
and
relax,
it's like Elaine's
Elaine.
like 18, 19.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my gosh. I know. So anyway, they're on their way.
No, they're here. They've been here for 2 days.
They're here.
Yep.
They've been here for 2 days too?
Oh, yeah, they're here.
Okay. Well, anyway, they want to come into Camelin.
Yeah.
And that's the big thing. So now they're asking for safe conduct to meet with Elaine. And Elaine is like, ugh, so insulting. Why wouldn't they just come in?
Yeah, so technically she is sort of correct, because right now the undeclared houses, like the 6 of them, none of them are actually declaring that they want to be the queen or king or whatever. Like, they don't want to be the head of Camelin.
Nope.
So technically,
Andor.
Andor. Yeah, of Andor. Camelin's the only thing that really matters.
No, there's all of Andor.
Okay.
The 2 rivers, no.
Totally, yeah. So the whole thing is, like, right now, they automatically have safe conduct because they're not enemies. They're not allies, but they're not enemies. So for them to say, hey, we don't trust you to not kidnap us right now, it's insulting to her.
Not really, though. Like, take a look at the whole frickin' situation right now.
I'm just trying to, like, that's why.
Everybody's on edge. I know, but Elaine, like, everybody's on edge, and they're right to ask for this.
Yeah,
I
well,
think.
they also walked up with 60,000 soldiers, which is way more than what Elaine has.
Yeah.
And she's like, you want safe, because she was going to go to them if they didn't come to her, and she wasn't going to ask for safe conduct. That's what she thinks.
Well, maybe she should have, though.
Yeah, but Elaine just kind of like,
maybe you should do that, Elaine.
She just does whatever she's going to do.
She's invincible, haven't you heard?
Yeah, until her kids are born. Exactly. You get it.
We have so many months of invincibility.
9 to 18 months.
It doesn't even matter how many other people die along the way.
Yeah. We do get a side note, too, that Dyelin has visited Deneen, if you notice on the bottom of this.
I see undecided Deneen.
She's undecided, she hasn't decided, and she won't decide. So she's the 19th house that's just like off in the corner, not saying yes or no to anybody, and she's being super annoying.
No, I don't think that's annoying. I think it's fine.
Pretty annoying.
She's just waiting to see how it plays out.
Exactly.
She's hedging.
Super annoying.
It's fine.
She's the hedgiest of all the... Everybody else is involved in some way. And she's just like, nope.
Yeah, she's doing that topiary thing with her hedges. That's how much she's hedging.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is that where you like make things out of the hedges?
That's right, yes.
Make like a dinosaur or whatever?
You could do that.
Giraffe?
So many things.
Bird?
Mostly like circles.
Circles? Okay.
Yeah, and like shapes and stuff. But yeah, absolutely animals.
Okay. All right.
Topiary. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's why Elaine gets all huffy about that. If they want safe conduct, then she like writes the note and it's like, and if this isn't good enough, then...
It's not even flourishy. It's just my normal neat script.
Right. He's like, tell them they're a bunch of babies.
Yeah.
So.
I don't know. I think that they're within their rights to ask for safe conduct.
That's fair.
And I think that that's actually a good sign that they want to come talk to you and they're not just attacking you.
Yeah.
And they think you might attack them.
Well, you look at you being all reasonable here. Okay.
I know. I try sometimes.
Yeah. Anyways, she does throw a little thing in the bottom of the note too.
Except that we haven't killed David Hanlon yet, and I'm not reasonable about that.
No, for sure. I agree with you on that.
Yeah.
Anyways, Elaine throws into the bottom of the note, we must speak about the Borderlanders.
Yes.
So she prefaces it
with
hey,
okay, this meeting is going to have something to talk about.
Because she asks, like, why do they want to meet with me? And the messenger's like, I don't know. They didn't tell me.
Yeah.
And she's like, fine. Like, I'm setting an expectation that at least we have a topic to talk about.
You know what? Fine.
This was her plan with the Borderlanders, too. So.
Oh, yeah. We'll get into that later, though.
Okay.
That actually works out quite well.
It does.
She really does throw that in their face.
Yeah.
Okay, so off the messenger goes, and now they're going to meet with these 6 undeclared heads of houses this afternoon.
Yes.
The meeting is set.
Couple hours from now. We got things to do first.
Right. Now, we are hit with some of those super annoying pregnancy mood swing things.
Yeah.
Happy to sad, angry to sad. It's a whole thing.
And
I'm just like,
sad.
oh my God, I'm just rolling my eyes at this whole entire thing.
This is where she does the whole, Dyelin, are you sure you don't want to be queen?
That's right. And then Dyelin gives a huge speech about how Elaine will be a good queen, maybe the best that we've seen in so long.
Yeah.
And
it's actually a kind of nice speech. Like, when you go through it, it's pretty nice.
yeah. And she's like, no. She's like, maybe, Elaine, if you died, then yeah, I'd be queen.
Yeah.
That would make sense here.
She does bring that up. She's like, if you didn't come back, then sure, I would put my name in the hat.
Yes, but you're here.
Yeah.
I support you. I've seen you brought up, and I knew that since you were 15 years old, you'd make a good queen.
Yeah, and like Dyelin legit doesn't want to be queen.
No.
She's like, no,
and she gives a bunch of reasons as to why she doesn't want to be queen. And I was like, oh, those are all really good reasons.
Yeah.
And okay.
Like, she's already the
I
head
guess
of a
I'm
very...
back to trusting Dyelin.
Yeah, she's the head of a very powerful house. Like, that's enough response. Like, she's good. I don't need to be the queen. I can do my own thing.
Right.
And then she's also like, you will be good for Andor because you have a connection with the Dragon Reborn.
Yes.
Like, that is helpful for the country.
Yeah.
That's good.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways.
All right, and then we're going to get into this like super frivolous side plot stuff where we sort of get caught up to speed on what's going on.
You know what? I have so much notes on this frivolous side
Do
plot
you?
stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
good.
the first one I have is Mistress Harfor speaks up because she wants to fire all the spies in the palace now that the siege is over.
She's like, yes, finally, I can fire all of them.
And Elaine's like, no, once a spy, always a spy, so keep them on.
Yeah.
Because they'll probably take coin from someone else.
It's so funny, too, because Elaine is so insulted that the Aes Sedai, like the Ajahs,
would
have
put
spies.
eyes and ears
it's like,
in
how
here?
dare they? It's like, you literally employ spies, Elaine. Like, you do it.
Yeah.
And you're
but
shocked.
how dare?
I know.
How dare they? And you know what? It's good to have eyes and ears in the palace because we can feed them information. And it's the Aes Sedai's own fault if they act on that information.
Funny. It's like, you're also Aes Sedai.
Yeah. Well, you're trying to be.
Yeah. I mean,
you're pretending to be.
Is she, though?
No.
She wants to be queen.
I don't know. I just think...
What does she want to be more?
Queen and Aes Sedai.
Yeah.
She wants to be both more.
Queen of the Aes Sedai.
Oh my gosh. No, that would be the Amyrlin seat.
Would it though?
No, she wants to be queen while also being Aes Sedai.
Yeah.
Now, here's a controversial thing that maybe some people won't like me saying.
Okay.
But, Kate, let's think for a moment of the three who are currently Aes Sedai who haven't even had really any typical Aes Sedai training. Okay? So we have Nynaeve, Elaine, Egwene.
Yeah.
Of the three, who is the least actual Aes Sedai here?
Oh.
Like, if any of them should go back and actually go through whatever trials it takes to become an Aes Sedai.
Sure, okay.
Like the Aes Sedai test, which one probably should have to go do that?
Okay. So I'm going to say that Nynaeve is probably the least Aes Sedai because she's the person who least wants to be Aes Sedai in a lot of different ways.
The least of them who actually wants to follow the Aes Sedai rules.
Oh yeah, she doesn't want to be an Aes Sedai. She wants to do her own thing and have some power.
But she loves the power of having the ring on her finger and like being an Aes Sedai.
Yeah, and like maybe she's kind of coming to terms with the whole concept,
and
but she's still very disconnected from it.
And are you personally on board with them calling themselves Aes Sedai right now? Do you think the fact that Egwene, as the Amyrlin seat, raised them in this manner, do you consider them actually Aes Sedai?
I consider them Aes Sedai because it's by the Aes Sedai's own dumb rules that they can do this. You got Egwene by dumb rules to make her Amyrlin,
absolutely.
And then she has dumb rules that allowed her to make other people Aes Sedai, and you're all playing by the dumb rules. So, like, yeah, I like and endorse anything that starts to tear down the walls of the White Tower's shitty political structure.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's a bunch of garbage, and it should be torn down, and I think that this is a great step to doing that.
Okay.
So, yeah, I say, yep, you're Aes Sedai.
Okay, because I think that I'm like a little bit of a rule follower.
Sure.
And it still kind of bugs me that I don't think they're really Aes Sedai.
I understand why other Aes Sedai don't view them as
I understand how other Aes Sedai don't.
Yeah.
I get that part of it. But like me, as a casual observer of this situation, and I'm like rooting for them, and I really love that this happened for them.
You didn't do all the things that you have to do.
But I actually am like,
Yeah. Like
Are you, though?
The two important things to become Aes Sedai.
You didn't do either of them.
Yeah, it's like the test and then the Oath Rod.
Yeah.
Like those are the things. Those are the main things.
Those are the things.
In fact, those are probably the only things.
And yeah.
You didn't do either. So.
And you've really had like 0 of the training.
Yeah. Which also, like I would say, as an Aes Sedai standard, is better because they're all way more effective than any other Aes Sedai who taught the training.
Absolutely, yeah.
So like your training program sucks.
I know, because their training program just like beats everyone into submission until you're allowed to just be the most arrogant person in the world.
Depending on how strong you are in the power. Because if you're not strong in the power,
and
you don't get to do that.
Strong mentally.
Right.
Too, right?
Yeah. And then sometimes you just get murdered by the Black Aja, maybe the Red Aja. Who knows?
Who's to say?
Who's to say? Not me. I don't know.
Interesting. I haven't really thought about that before.
Anyways.
But yeah, I think of all of them, I think that Elaine is like least Aes Sedai.
Yeah, that's fair too. I could see an argument for that. Egwene is the most
why,
because
though.
Egwene wants to be Aes Sedai.
You know,
she wants to do
see
that.
her not... Maybe she's not channeling enough for me.
Sure.
Maybe I want her to channel more.
Yeah.
I don't know. She's got good skills, though. I like her Terangrial stuff.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
yeah,
cool.
she's got that.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, maybe I take it back.
Yeah.
I'll be interested to hear what other people have to say
I like it. Yeah, no, for
on
sure.
that particular topic.
Yeah, in like so many ways, she probably shouldn't be green, but she wants to be green
because she
the
wants
warders...
more warders. But
Exactly.
here's the thing.
Again, it's a dumb rule.
It's such a dumb rule.
Yeah.
Have more warders.
She's literally like a tinkerer, and she should be probably
White?
like a gray.
A gray?
She's like a negotiator. She's literally like
and she's really good at that.
queen.
She should be a great, but then just have more warders.
Yeah. How many times did
Yeah.
she like negotiate to make Nynaeve?
Yeah, because she's not battle. Like she's not.
I don't know. And sometimes she is because she'll go kick a door in, but like.
Not really though.
Well,
That's not
just because you do
That's
that.
not being a battle general.
I know.
Kicking a door in.
Yeah, you got to ride out on your pony into the middle of the battlefield to be a green.
Honestly, and
right?
like take down Trollocs.
Where's that?
Yeah.
I don't know. Okay.
Yeah. No, I think she should be gray, but with multiple warders.
We got sidetracked.
Yes, very much so.
I'm looking forward to this because we can definitely discuss. I think there's a couple more Elaine
I'm
chapters in the series.
procrastinating. Can you tell?
I know. We got to get through the things that are happening. So do we want to talk about the fact that the roof is leaking right now?
No.
Or the food's going bad?
Nope.
Okay, surprisingly to her, the number of arsons hasn't decreased.
Yeah, I do want to talk about that
Okay.
because my speculations were Black Aja or Aramilla's camp.
Sure.
And both of them now are taken down.
Well, okay,
And there's still Ursons everywhere.
Here's the thing. It's been like 2 days.
Yeah.
And I don't think that it was literally the Black Aja sisters and or Dyelin Mellar who were going and setting the actual fires. They probably hired a bunch of criminals, were like, hey, go set fires. And then they're working on orders to like set fires until I tell you to stop. So they'll keep doing fires until they're currently imprisoned. And like all these people setting 17 fires a night, that takes more than one person. Like, they're probably
and
just
we probably
still
don't have
doing
a
the
super
thing.
good like message network.
No, they're like set fires forever. Come get your paycheck in 2 weeks.
Okay, you're right. It has been 2 days.
It's not that surprising to me that the Darsons are still happening. It's like, it's been 2 days. Like,
okay, because I was like, ooh, interesting. Third anonymous party setting fires.
It's not like the Black Aja sisters are going around like lighting fires with the power.
What if it's like literally some guy who likes setting fires?
It could be that.
What if it's a genuine arsonist?
Greg. He just likes setting fires.
It's just Greg. Greg's the arsonist.
This is his wheelhouse.
He loves it.
He loves
he
it.
loves fires. No one even thought about that.
Yeah, shoot.
It's not nefarious at all.
Yeah, just Greg. There
just
you go.
Greg.
Get out of here, Greg. We're trying to run a country here.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Now we've had death warrants issued by the mercenaries who flip-flopped on allegiances.
Yeah.
So
this is big. I tried to explain this.
Confirmation that a couple of them did flip and one did not.
Yeah, so I tried to get ahead of this last time we were talking about this. So we had Cordwin, who was one of the guys who wanted more money, Go Mason, one of the guys who wanted more money, and then Bakuvan, who wanted more money. And then when that soldier came, he was like, oh, like, I'm pretty sure they flipped, but that Bakuvan guy, I'm pretty sure he didn't flip. He's still with us.
Yeah.
So we get confirmation here that Cordwin, he died in the fighting. And then Abalaman was the one that Elaine tried to make shoot all the mercenaries. She had that conversation.
And that
like,
guy
shoot
said
them.
no.
And he's like, no. So he flipped. And then Gomason flipped too. And then Cordwin flipped, but he died.
Okay.
So Bakoven did not flip. And then he came later.
Wanted a reward.
He tried to petition Elaine to be like, hey, I didn't flip. Everybody else did, and I helped you defeat and win from the inside to let them come out. Like, I helped. I did good. Give me some more money. And Elaine's like, nope.
Well, no, because she was paying him to do a job.
I get it.
That he did. But what's your stance on it? Do you think she should have given him more money?
Absolutely. She's terrible at relationship building with mercenary groups.
Yes. Yep.
You already are not paying, like, 4 of these groups because they are all traitors. Give the guy who didn't more money, and he'll come back to you when you need him.
Yep.
Like, treat your mercenary groups that are with you like a little bit better.
That's what I thought your point. Yeah, that's what I thought you'd be.
She's
and
horrible
it came up
with
in our Discord a little bit.
Okay.
And there was quite a conversation happening around all of that stuff.
Interesting. Okay.
And
I haven't. It's work's been crazy, so I haven't. Like,
no, I
been
know,
in
and
Discord.
that's in the spoiler-free one, and I know you don't go in there as much as the spoiler one.
Yeah.
So yeah, interesting though.
Okay. So that's my stance. Is like pay the guy.
I think that someone else had that stance too. They're
just
like
she's so casually dismisses the fact.
But I get why she's standing her ground on it. Like she's trying to be that hard ass. Like no.
But you could come off as like she could come off so well to him.
But it's like a thank you for not betraying me. Like I see her point too.
I get it, but I don't agree with it.
I don't think we should pay people more because they didn't betray us.
She could easily make an argument like, this is not because you didn't betray me. This is a reward for the fighting. Because that's a thing that you can do for mercenary groups. Here's an extra percentage based on the fact that we won.
Because you fought and we won,
we won. Here you go.
Yeah, she could do that. You're right.
There's so many ways to get around this.
Because I do get her stance on it.
I do. She's just like...
But she's like, good for me. But then the other guys who didn't die, she issued their, like, death warrants.
Yeah. So, yeah, for sure. Which makes sense.
And she told them that.
Yeah. And that's fair. They also, like, as mercenaries, you don't really get extra work if you're known as a turncoat, because who's going to hire you?
Turncoat.
Yeah. Now, let's talk about the prisoners.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so the Dark Friend prisoners have not talked yet.
Yeah, not Black. Can't call him Black Aja.
No, you say
like that.
Dark Friend Aes Sedai.
Yeah.
And Elaine's like, stop calling them Aes Sedai.
Did you read what she did with the rings?
She melted them.
She melted them down. She's like, technically that's Egwene's like call.
Yeah, but I did it.
So,
I did it.
Really funny.
Egwene would be cool with it, probably.
Probably.
Although, power trip, who knows?
Who knows?
Yeah.
Egwene does that sometimes.
Yes. Uh-huh.
So, they're not talking. Surprise, surprise.
Yeah, when it's like, ooh, maybe we need some questioning.
Yeah.
We need to question them better.
Elaine's like, hey, how about that torturer guy that Sylvace offered me?
No, that secretary.
Yeah.
He's a secretary, Brett.
You're right.
He's a secretary.
I like Nori's response. She's like, no, because like...
I thought he said yes.
No, Nori says probably don't, because that's frowned upon, and having a personal torturer is like...
Suggests someone might have a dark side.
Yeah.
And then Elaine's like, yeah, but Sylvace and her history, she's entitled to a dark side.
Yeah, which is fair, but it's like, that did not get a, let's hire the guy.
Oh, I thought it was a yes.
I mean, okay.
Maybe no?
Maybe yes, maybe no, but like, that seems like a...
But guess who is talking? A lot.
Oh, yeah.
Guess who is shouting?
It's Mellar.
Yeah, and now in one paragraph, there were 2 words I didn't know.
Yeah, I had to look them both up.
You looked them up. Okay.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, I also looked them up.
First word is invective, which means insulting or abusive.
And that's Mellar, who was being invective.
Invective, insulting, abusive, makes sense.
Yes.
And when I read it, I was like, yeah, it makes sense.
Yep,
definitely
makes sense.
And then immediately after, Nori's like, vituperative, which also means bitter or abusive.
Yeah.
It's like, you just didn't want to say abusive twice.
No.
Or even once.
No.
Just found these 2 crazy words.
Yeah.
Yikes.
I like those crazy words. That's thesaurus work right there.
Right, seriously. Vituperative.
Like, okay, you know what though? If those words are going to be in anybody's everyday vernacular, it's Robert Jordan.
Right.
Right? Of course. Like, you think Robert Jordan went to the thesaurus?
He's probably like, what, you don't know what that means? It's like, no, Robert Jordan, I don't know what that means.
Vitucular?
Vituperative and invective.
Oh.
Not even close.
You know what word I still do remember though? Surreptitious.
Okay.
Yeah, I still know that word.
Yeah, there you go. Okay.
Quite well. I've learned quite a few words from this podcast.
I'm going to start calling you vituperative.
But I am not, mostly.
Yeah, well, I'm going to save that for a rainy day.
And you know what? If I'm acting abusive or...
Bitter?
Yeah. You know what? I probably will be vituperative.
Close.
What is it? Say it again.
Vituperative.
Yeah. I might be acting that way.
We have other things to talk about this chapter too.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Oh, yeah, this isn't much better. The midwife shows up.
Oh, God.
You want to talk
I
about the
actually
midwife?
completely forgot that happened.
Oh, man, it's like
my God.
It's a whole segment. Oh, my goodness.
Okay, how do I say this in 3 sentences?
How does your pee taste, Elaine?
Okay, that one I actually understand.
I get it. It's
because that's a typical monitoring technique.
Know. She knows. I know. Everyone knows, and we don't have to talk about it.
Okay.
Read and talk to your baby.
And talk to your baby and
hire musicians.
Listen to music.
Yeah.
Because the baby can hear things in the womb. And I love how this woman is like, I can tell the difference between the dumb babies and the smart babies.
Yeah.
The ones who read and the ones who didn't.
It's like,
so
you didn't
better
talk to your baby,
it.
did you? Okay.
Yeah. And what I love is later on, Elaine has Brigida reading to her babies.
So funny.
But she will not let Brigida read the frivolous love stories.
Yes.
It has to be the histories.
It has to be boring history books.
For the fetus
Yep.
in the womb.
Yeah.
For like a 3-month-old.
Yes.
No.
Not any of those stupid fantasy stories. Yeah. Make your kids stupid.
Stop reading those dumb frivolous
like
fantasy stories.
I know, right? That's got to be like an RJ thing. It's like just taking a shot at himself here.
Yeah, and then we have musicians who come in and play for Elaine's
and some of them are like medium, and she thinks about Tom.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, is he alive? I wonder. Okay.
Yeah. Also, she knows it's twins, but the midwife is unsure.
Right.
And then there's actually something weird about how the midwife is like someone's niece. And someone else needs healing or something.
Yeah, it's her maid. It's like the old maid, and this is like the niece or something like this.
Uh-huh.
So at one point, we knew this, though.
Okay, cool,
yeah. We got the whole thing where it's like...
I for sure know this.
Elaine's old, like, maid person who does her clothes very slow because she's old is like, oh, I have a niece who's a midwife. Oh. And then there's a whole hiring process, and she's like, fine, I'll get a midwife, whatever.
Okay.
There's a whole thing, and we got to see her come in. Like, we've actually been through this.
I blocked that out of my memory.
Which is totally fair. Yeah.
Completely.
Yeah. Really not super important to the story, except for the fact that she has a midwife.
Okay, and the midwife is bringing an ointment for her aunt, and then Elaine's like, oh, that liar, I'm going to make her take healing.
Yes, because she's old and has arthritis, and is trying to do buttons on Elaine's clothes, but goes very slowly. It's like, you need to take your medication.
Yeah.
Which is healing, I guess.
I guess so. Okay, now I've done enough stalling. Let's take a really quick break, and then we're going to come back and get into actually what's going on this chapter.
Yeah, sounds good.
All right, so now finally we get to the point where Mistress Harford comes in to announce the arrival that the lords and ladies of the other houses are here for the meeting.
Right.
So Elaine puts on her daughter air coronet and they march towards the grand hall.
But now we have to march towards the grand hall with the hallways changing and such.
Oh my gosh, they're changing, but don't worry about it. We're fine.
Because the guardswomen have been through like Black Aja battle now, so hallways changing, not so scary. When all they do is change, it's more so just annoying.
Yes, fair. Okay. Yeah. So now eventually they get there and Dyelin is already here. And I'm pretty sure that she's here with the
kids.
The kids.
Yes.
So
this is where the chart's going to start coming in handy.
Now, Catelyn, I knew.
Yep.
That's the one. I for sure know her. And then Connell.
Yep.
Connell. And Branlett.
Yep.
And Perival.
Yep.
So they're here.
Yeah, so those are the 4
getting
children.
Some advice.
Those are the 4 children, heads of the houses.
And when you say children, like Catelyn's like 17.
Yeah.
Connell's 16.
Elaine thinks of them as children.
Well, so Perival's 12 and Branlett's 13. That's what I have in my notes. So
So that's right. So if we look at the 6 who are supporting Elaine.
Okay, let me look at your diagram that you have here for me.
We have to remember that Elaine's house is a house. House Turkand is number 1.
House Turkand counts. So she's like, I'm Elaine Turkand, and I vouch for myself.
Exactly.
Kay.
So she's 1.
Okay.
Then Dyelin.
Yes.
And then the 4 children.
Yes.
That's 6. There you go.
Okay. Now, Dyelin, before today, has she actually proclaimed and said yes for sure?
There's a difference between like saying like I'm on your side and then like actually writing it out as a statement.
Yeah.
That's a lot more serious because he can't really do any take backsies.
Yeah, that's what you were talking about last time.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's harder to, because then it like putting things in writing versus just being there for support. It's different.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now, so we have 6, because Elaine counts 1 for herself. Now, okay.
She's House Tricand.
I was trying to figure out how we have 6 already. Okay, no, I get it. Okay.
I think actually last episode when we were talking about this, I think, because we didn't really talk about them. I was trying to ask
for the numbers.
And I was like, yeah, there's 6. Like, what are we missing
how,
here?
Though?
It's like Dyelin and the 4.
How did we get there?
It's because Tricand.
Yeah, and like...
Same with Arimilla is 1.
Nan and Elenia probably also would, and that would give you as many as you need, and you're like, no, I won't take it though. And it's like, what? Why?
Yeah, because they
I know
wrote
why.
in...
I know, okay, you don't have to explain it. I actually do know why.
Okay.
I still think she should.
The diagram helps. I like it.
The diagram helps. So then over here we have the Arimilla supporters who flip-flopped.
Yep.
After Arimilla's defeat, and that makes 7, 8, 9.
Yes, so we got Lord Lear, Lady Carind, and Lady Sylvace.
And those ones we know.
Those are the 3 who flip-flopped, and Elaine accepted them. And then we had the 3 who were not allowed to switch.
Straight
which was
to jail.
Arimilla, Nan, and Elenia, straight to jail.
Okay.
So in this meeting right now in the hall, before all the other houses show up, we do have Lear, Carind, and Sylvace.
Yeah, they're in this meeting.
Yes.
And that's the part I was a little bit confused about, like who's actually here now, because I thought Elaine was showing up after everyone had arrived.
Right.
So, you know what I mean?
Yeah, so she has...
Because I thought that was like power move, everybody shows up and then you come in last.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
I get that.
And we know, Mr. Hartford showed up to be like, oh, they're here now. And so I thought we were walking in on sort of a meeting already kind of happening. Right. But like, no, that's not what's happening.
So Elaine is walking in with her 8 other allies.
Okay. And Dyelin is giving some advice to some of these younger heads of houses.
Also, to Lear, who's maybe a bit of a hothead.
Oh, okay.
So
now, my favorite part of all of this is probably Elorian. So Elorian Tremaine is this goater.
Yes. Yep.
Apparently.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, she's going to poke and prod you. Don't let her.
Yeah.
But then I love Catelyn, who's like, well, if she pokes me, well, then I guess she gets the bear.
Yeah. You mess with the bull.
Yeah. Exactly. And it's like, well, no, that's what she wants, though.
She wants you to bite.
And then Dyelin says, well, the ox goes where the prod tells it to.
Right.
And it's like, shit, I'm not an ox, though, so...
Don't bite.
Can't do it.
Yeah, so you were actually asking previously about why these people don't like Elaine?
Well, yeah. So, okay, in my mind, this is what I was thinking about in my second read, because Elaine is the daughter heir to Morgaze Tricand.
Yeah.
And naturally, Morgaze dies or goes missing or whatever, shouldn't Elaine naturally just take the seat without anybody saying, no, you shouldn't?
Yes. Yeah, there's a comment in this chapter about like, oh, is this a succession war?
Yes.
Because it shouldn't be.
Yes.
It should just be like Elaine
this
takes the throne.
This should be typical, yeah.
Yeah.
Because if Elaine was also gone, then okay, yes, we have a succession war.
Which is why there was a succession war when Tigraine
bounced.
She bounced.
She bounced.
She had things to do.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that's how Morgaze's
she won the succession war.
Yeah.
And that's how Tricand even got into power in the first place. And I was thinking, oh, is this because of that succession war? Are people still pissed that Morgaze got in and now this is their chance to get Tricand out?
So that might be, but also don't forget how badly Ravine
fucked
screwed it up. And so this is actually kind of interesting. So Elorian is the one who Morgaze had flogged in the street.
Oh.
So Elorian has like a personal vendetta against Tricand.
As she should. Honestly.
And this is the thing. It's like none of it was Morgaze's fault, but
doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Elorian
because
doesn't really know that.
Doesn't know because it was literally Ravine. But like Ravine really messed up the politics in Andor. In like one of the strongest nations in the world, debatably the most strong nation in the world.
Yeah.
But like he really screwed it up.
Yes.
And he's basically caused all this stuff.
Well, I have in my notes, Elorian Tremaine is probably my favorite.
Elaine?
I like her a lot. I think she's funny, and I think she's strong-willed, and I really like her. Out of everybody here.
Do you remember that Elaine is named after Elorian's like grandmother?
No,
That's
I
why
didn't
Elaine
remember
has
that.
the name Elaine.
I
because
didn't
of
know.
Alorian's like grandma or mom or
Who
whatever.
cares?
So.
I don't care about that.
But
I
that's
like
the thing.
Alorian.
Yeah.
I think she's great.
She's really good at provoking people.
Yeah.
Poke, poke,
I
poke,
think
poke,
that's
poke.
fun. I think that's funny. I like her a lot.
Well, she doesn't get to be queen, so.
I know.
Oh, also, you know who
she
doesn't
want to be queen. She's not putting in her name.
Alorian?
Is she?
She's not officially.
No, I have Alorian. No, I don't have that.
Alorian is not officially, but it's the speculation like maybe she would if she could get more support.
Because I have that Aemlyn wants Dyelin to be on the throne.
Well, Aemlyn also can never be queen. Because then it's like, what? Queen Aemlyn of Camelin?
Yes, I love that.
No,
actually.
you can't have that.
No, I like it.
No, you think that's why she became queen?
Yes.
Your dentist name is
Prentice?
Anyways, so it's not going to be Aemlyn, and it's not going to be Alorian.
Well, it should be.
Yeah, well, that's
maybe
your opinion.
Alorian would be good. I don't
That's
even know anything
opinion.
about her.
Yeah.
Except that she's funny in this meeting.
Sure, okay. Let's talk about the meeting.
She provided me with entertainment.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we have everyone here now. Okay, let's get that. Let's get to
so
there.
it's finally time for the nobles to enter, and Mistress Harford is here to introduce everyone very formally, even though, Brett, did you know that this is an informal meeting?
Oh, it is.
And
yes.
do you know exactly what that means? Because I do now.
Oh, you do, because it's the servants and who provides
it means that
the
you bring your own servants.
Right, versus
How
having them.
informal is that?
Well, yeah.
So informal?
Super informal.
If it was a formal gathering, Elaine would have to provide the servants.
Obviously.
For the tea and the
And we get little
wine.
sigils for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And they're all walking in their own group still. So we still have the separation of Alorian, Abel, and Luan, and then Arathel, Palavar, Aemlyn.
Sure we do.
Those are the two different groups. And that's good for
You know
Elaine.
what? I am just so thankful to you. Like, you finally, we're 12 books in.
Yeah.
4.5 years, and you made me a visual.
Finally.
Finally.
It happened.
Yeah.
Okay. So
I didn't even think to do anything myself. 'Cause the problem is I don't care enough.
yeah.
On
well,
the
it's
stuff
also,
I really care about, I really go out and make my visuals. But
it's confusing, though.
Yeah.
And this is the first chapter, I think, where we've had all 19 houses referenced in the same chapter.
And
like,
all
usually,
18 in the same room.
Usually we just have, like, a group. We're dealing with 3 or 4, and, like, we can focus. But
in,
now,
like, a single perspective or whatever, yeah.
But here, holy moly.
Okay.
But anyways, Elaine thinks it's good that they're still separate. It's a good sign because it probably means that they're not here to demand her surrender by being like, hey, we're combining our forces and, you don't get to be queen.
Right.
Because, like, technically Elaine needs 10, but if she doesn't get 10, then she doesn't just get to be queen. Mm-hmm. So they could really just, like, drag this out forever.
Yes, which is crazy, but okay. Now, Elaine welcomes them all and offers wine and tea, and then Alorian immediately starts being a giant bee, and I love it.
Yeah.
And she's like, at least you're not sitting on the throne. I half expected you would be.
Yeah, but wait
and
for
Elaine,
the shots fired. Here we go.
I really appreciate Elaine during this meeting.
Yeah.
She really holds it together. She acts very regal. She does a very, very good job.
Yeah.
And I'm
also,
impressed.
It's kind of funny because Alorian's the two paired with her, Abel and Luan, they both like roll their eyes when she starts immediately going after Elaine. Like, it's like clearly
she's the one, right?
They've heard this before.
They've
dealt with it. It's like, oh my god,
yes.
Alorian, cut it out.
Yes. Now, Aemlyn, Arathel, and Palavar, those are the ones that were like blocking Egwene at the frozen river place.
Those are the ones.
That one time.
As the Aes Sedai were rolling across the ice so it didn't break. You remember.
I remember. Yeah. And for sure not riding their horses out there.
Definitely. The horses were also rolling, as horses do.
And scooting.
So well.
Army crawling. Yeah. Okay. I just wanted to point that out because I remembered that.
Yeah.
But now Elaine doesn't take the bait. And she says, obviously not. I have no right to sit on the throne yet.
Boom.
Ooh, mic drop.
Eat it, Alorian.
Yeah.
Alorian also makes a comment about Deneen again here.
Oh.
We get another reference to her, the undecided one. She's like, she's never going to make any decisions. Like, what are you waiting for her to be your 10th? Nuh-uh, not going to happen.
And then Elaine just ignores her.
Exactly, yeah.
So Elaine changes the subject back to wine and tea. Everybody gets refreshed when they want to be.
Yeah.
And then Alorian tries to start up again, and she's like, I see all of your support here is from the children and from Arimilla's leftovers.
Yeah.
So how does that feel, Elaine?
Which is crazy. Like, if you're trying to become possibly queen, like, you're insulting
everybody
in the room.
Literally everyone.
All at once.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Yeah. And everyone holds their tongue.
It's good.
And Elaine ignores her again and says, okay, so why are you guys here? is it just to have Elorian insult me?
Right.
And, like, that's funny because Elorian goes to respond, but then Luan just, like, cuts her off.
Yeah.
And announces that they've come for a truce. And then Elaine is like, oh, are we at war? And then...
Yeah, that's the whole, like, nobody else has declared for the throne. Like, right
like,
now,
what do you
only...
need a truce for?
Yeah, only Arimilla did. So technically, everybody is undeclared, but also, like, they're not enemies, they're not allies, but they're not enemies. So...
Yeah. And Elaine is like, well, nobody else has declared for the throne. And then they all look to Dyelin.
Yes, because Dyelin is the one who Elaine even knows, like, they would stand for her immediately.
Even Deneen
yeah.
from Nowhere Land,
yeah,
she would support Dyelin also. They would all stand for Dyelin.
Absolutely.
And Dyelin says, you idiots, I've already told you I support Elaine.
Yeah.
And then Luan says, fine. But we need a temporary agreement to deal with the Borderlanders because if they decide to move against us, that'll be bad.
Yeah, so between Elaine's armies and the undeclared houses, there's probably around like 100,000 they have.
Yeah.
Like maybe. And the Borderlanders have 200,000 immediately.
Yeah.
So not good odds.
Terrible.
It doesn't, like,
Terrible.
no, it's just...
And this was Elaine's plan all along. She's like, move in close enough that everyone can see what you're doing and scare everybody.
Right.
Yeah.
And they were like, we know you're not actually queen, so, like, we know what you're doing, but also we want to go through, so, okay.
Yeah, exactly. Now, before we talk about what happens next, I had a thought about how this must look to the rest of these houses who are struggling to declare for Elaine.
Like who? Which?
All of the undeclared ones.
Okay, so, okay.
And the ones who've sided with Arimilla, honestly.
Yeah.
Because Elaine is also a child.
Yes.
Like, that's how they see her.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Comparatively.
Yeah. It would be like if one of these, Catelyn, Connell, whatever, if they were to declare for the throne, they'd be like, that's a child.
Yeah.
And they're probably struggling a little bit with that.
Mm-hmm.
And so this next little bit, I think, does a pretty good job to convince them that Elaine not only, like, isn't a child, but is capable and competent enough to be queen.
Yeah, absolutely. She gives them, like, really good answers to really tough and difficult situations.
Absolutely.
And it's like, these are well thought out ideas.
And I think that the way this plays out, it's really simple to say, okay, Dyelin gives her support for Elaine, so that's why they're all doing this. Even the chapter is called The Importance of Dyelin, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, if Dyelin didn't declare for Elaine, then are they going to, right? And even with Dyelin clearly supporting Elaine, they're already on the fence. And I think we really, really, really have to give Elaine credit here for convincing them herself.
Yeah. No, she definitely does. And, like, Elaine definitely absolutely wins the support of not all 5 that come across.
No.
But she does win the
majority.
2.
Yeah.
She does win the majority. But I will say that if Dyelin was actually, like, going for the throne and was opposed to Elaine would have a hell of a time.
Oh, Elaine
like,
would not get it.
It wouldn't, like, but that's why
it would
she's
be a
important.
succession war, yes.
Because if Dyelin was going for it, she probably wouldn't be queen.
No.
So...
Well, and it's because Dylan's older, she has experience, and she has the credibility.
Yeah.
Right? Elaine has zero credibility to her name. No one
Plus,
even knows
her mom
who she
left
is.
on terrible terms with a bunch of houses.
The name Tricand.
Yeah. A little bit poison right now.
Like, tainted. And,
a little bit.
I know in this series that word means a lot, but actually, though...
a little bit.
Yeah.
For the noble houses here.
100%. And I'm, like, finally, for the first time, understanding all of these politics.
Yeah. Well, what we really should be doing is we need to get Perival on the throne, because that's House Mantier, and that's Rand's house.
Oh.
Tigraine Mantier. Oh. That's Randon Galad's tech. That's the mama.
Pelivar. Isn't that a
Perival.
guy? Isn't that a kid?
Not Pelivar. Perival. Yeah, that's one of the kids.
Oh, how could I ever confuse the two?
Yeah, I know. It's like so...
These names are dumb.
Yeah. It's like, why the same letters, different order.
I know. And, it's like, oh, in real life, people have similar names.
It's like
no,
true,
we
but
know.
like, come on.
When I'm reading a book, I don't know who anyone is. Okay, so that's interesting. Mantier. I knew I recognized that name.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So anyways, okay.
Not that, though.
No,
that's not going to happen.
No. So anyways, let's get into this
whole... Okay, let's get into how Elaine really proves herself.
Yeah.
Because Luan brought up the Borderlanders, and Elaine says, oh yeah, I expected them to be in Morandi by now, but they don't want to come too close to Camelin, so they're taking, like, the back roads and stuff. They don't want to war with us, and I already gave them permission to cross Andor, and they said they were looking for the Dragon Reborn.
Yeah, so that's just, like, fact dropping. Yeah,
Another, right? And so Elorian does not like that, because she's like, how dare you?
Yeah.
You do not have the right to give anybody permission to cross any country you are not the queen of. Blah, blah, blah.
It's like Charlie Brown. Wah, 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 wah,
but
wah,
honestly,
wah.
though,
yeah,
Elorian is right.
Yeah, technically, she's right. But.
Elaine says, I didn't give them permission as Queen of Andor. I was speaking as, and she holds up her hand.
No one could see that dramatic gesture you just made, but it was quite dramatic.
It was so dramatic. I'm speaking as Aes Sedai of the Green Aja. And
right.
She holds up her ring and
for
shows
all to
the
see,
crowd.
for everyone to see how wonderful I am.
Yeah. And then she lays out exactly what would have happened if they tried to, quote, stop the Borderlander army.
Yeah, she brings up some good points in favor of, like, Elaine's plan, because she says, hey, so they have 200,000, we don't have even close to that, and they're all battle-hardened warriors who fight Trollocs.
And we suck. We're
and
farmers.
we're farmers, and then sometimes we're soldiers. Like, if they want to fight us, it's not going to go well for us.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
So, anyways, what would you do, Elorian? Tell me how you would do anything different and better.
And she just sniffs.
Yeah.
And then someone else.
Abel.
Abel.
Yeah.
Okay.
So basically, the two who are asking questions right now are Elorian's sidekicks.
Luan and Abel, right?
Yes. Yeah. Because they're the ones who are in a second here.
And they're the one who originally wanted Dyelin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're in a moment, they're the ones who are going to flip first.
Yes. Okay.
So
Abel asks Elaine's plan for the Black Tower.
Yeah.
They're like sort of interviewing her now.
Yeah.
And Elaine says, nothing. I send guards periodically to remind them that they're in Andor and subject to our laws, but besides that, there's not much more I can do because they're essentially another White Tower.
Yeah, it's like even if White Tower was magically transported and dropped here, like, what are we gonna do?
Yeah.
So it's nice because she's not, like, bullshitting them.
Yeah.
And making some elaborate, like, ooh, I'm doing this and that. She's like, nothing. Like, there's nothing we can do. It sucks, but it's here, so...
Yeah, and what is interesting in that whole Borderlander discussion, she's noting the looks she's getting from some of these other nobles because she thinks one of them might a little bit be onto her about her plan to have them set up here and look imposing.
Right.
But she thinks as long as he doesn't say anything out loud, he can think whatever he wants to think, right?
Yeah.
And so... I don't know, it goes pretty well for her, and I think the whole thing about her having knowledge about this entire situation just proves that she's on top of things.
Yes.
Right?
She's not like, oh, I didn't know they were here.
Yes.
Like, she's not...
Yeah, let's attack them with our 60,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So she sort of proves herself completely. And now, this is when, suddenly, Abel speaks up and says, I stand... for House Trakand.
Yes.
Basically.
And then Luan does the exact same thing. So those are the two who are with Elorian. So they're the first to be like, yep, okay, cool.
Elaine
let's
wins.
do this.
Elaine wins.
Elaine does it. Yeah, hooray.
And Elaine is shocked.
Yes.
It's done. She has 11. The throne is hers. And then Dyelin speaks up and says, the more who stand for her, the better for Andor. Stand with me for Trakand.
Yes, because the other three... plus Elorian are basically like...
standing around.
They're standing, they're humming,
they're like... Well, this reminds me of the Aes Sedai.
Exactly.
When they vote on something, it's like, it would be better if you all agree.
Yeah, it's like, it's already
even
passed.
Even if you don't want to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, the other three...
They do stand.
But they stand because...
Dyelin says do it.
So that's why Elaine is thinking, okay, like, I might have to watch... Like, maybe I can win them over in the future, but, like, I have to be aware that they stood for Dyelin.
And not for me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So now, that's when... Yeah, Elorian's the last one here.
Right. She's that last stubborn one who is like, I'm out of here.
Right.
She has the throne. The rest is fluff. Who cares? And Elaine tries her warm voice And it's like, oh, stay for dinner.
Right.
Hang out a little. And Elorian's like, fuck that. I got my own cooks. I'm leaving.
See ya. Yeah.
See ya. As soon as this rain's over.
Which is not very diplomatic. Like, at this point, Elaine is queen, and you're going to have to deal with Elaine now as queen forever, basically. Mm-hmm. So, like, you could try to do relationship building here, too. No, she's pissed.
I like Elorian.
All right. I get it.
I don't know. I can't, like, out of all of this, she's the most interesting. So, I think that's why I like her so much. But then Elaine says, well, bitch, Tarmangaiden is coming. And you won't be able to stay at your estates then.
Right. I like this, though. I like the response.
And then Elorian pauses and says, when Tarmangaiden comes, we will ride for the last battle behind the Lion of Andor. And then the chapter ends with Elaine inviting everyone to the apartments for dinner because she finally has a throne and this is all freaking over. And she also notes to herself, well, Elorian didn't say that she'll ride behind me. She'll just ride behind the line of Andor, so, like, I'm going to keep that in mind.
I gotta respect it, though, because, like, you know, you're not in good standing with Elaine, but you're still gonna ride for Tarmangaiden.
And I think Elorian is not in good standing with Morgaze.
Sure.
And House Trakand.
Yeah.
You know? And so maybe Elaine can sort of prove her
like, I'm different from my mom.
I'm different from what my mom did under compulsion from a...
Right, yeah. Like, clearly, Elorian's on board with the fact that Tarmangaiden is coming.
Yes.
She's not like, I don't even believe in Tarmangaiden.
Yeah.
Like, we're not at that stage here,
no.
Which is good.
Let the Trollocs come for me.
Yeah, I don't even care.
Yeah. No. No.
Oh, well.
No. But now, Elaine does think to herself, real life is much messier than in the stories.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. And then she thinks, how long until the march for Tarmangaiden begins?
Right, here we go.
And I'm like, you know, your ragtag group of nothing soldiers, although in theory, super nice to have support from Andor to ride to Tarmangaiden in quotes.
Sure.
What? How? How are you helping?
Yeah. Well, I mean, we have some soldiers.
Some. Mm-hmm.
We have about 200,000. So she does think in this whole, like, if we get everybody we possibly could, we could probably match the Borderlander army with about 200,000.
But she's right, farmers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Farmers are going to have to fight. It's the last battle.
And what's going to happen when Morgaze comes back?
Oh, man. Okay.
Because she's still alive.
Yeah.
And was just rescued.
You think she's coming back to Camelin?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. I've known that for a long time.
Yeah.
But don't worry, she's not queen anymore, so...
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
She abdicated.
Absolutely, she did that.
I'm not queen anymore.
Yeah, to the freaking night sky. Mm-hmm.
So funny. Okay.
And at this point, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's okay. I'm fine with that. She can come be like Elaine's advisor or something.
Or she could just retire at this. Like,
you just freaking retire.
Just, you know.
Her and Lenny.
Yeah, just like go.
Head into the coast of
Go to the estates of House Trakand and live there.
Oh, she probably will.
Mom, I don't want you living in the palace anymore.
Oh, rude.
Go back to
rude,
the other.
Elaine. You can't say that.
Go to the country house.
No, we need Grandma Morgaze.
Okay, yeah.
Elaine's pregnant.
That's true. Oh, okay.
And Morgaze is about to get pregnant by Talonvor.
That's true.
Because they love each other.
She's
They're going to
only
have babies.
You know, mid-40s. So, yeah.
Frick yeah.
Let's go.
What
step sibling?
Yeah, and I mean, is Elaine technically like a teen mom situation? And we're all like, oh, woo, Rad's babies. And it's like,
yeah, I mean, technically she's like, yeah, teenager is like 19. We're not going to talk about that, okay? It's different. Different.
Oh my gosh. Well.
Okay.
That's it.
End it.
We did it.
Yeah. So
now, tell me about how this book ends.
You get one chapter.
Okay.
One chapter next.
Chapter 36.
Yep. And then we're going to do chapter 37 and the epilogue.
And the epilogue.
So you got one chapter.
Okay. And we got some interesting things in the works for our recap for this book.
Yes, but we're going to keep that
DL.
Yeah, for now until
people wondering.
Yes, until it's actually everything is confirmed.
Uh-huh.
Because you never know.
I know. I'm excited though.
Yeah.
For it.
Okay. And then book recap. Yeah. So that's that's the last thing. And then we're heading into the Brandon Sanderson books. Holy moly.
Here we are, hey?
Okay.
But don't worry, there's still a million words to read.
That's true. There's a lot. There's still 25% in the series.
Yeah, so it's like, oh, we're almost done.
It's like, not really, no.
No, we are not. Oh, no, things are just amping up.
Yeah.
Things are just getting started for sure. All right, so before you go ahead and win your campaign for mayor, I'm going to say that this is part of the pattern now.
Yeah, it's part of the pattern.
Well, that's the end of another fun episode. Thanks so much for listening, everyone. The Wheel Weaves is hosted and edited by Dani and Brett and produced by Dani and Brett with Passion Socks, Cody Fouts, Benjamin, Michelle O'Brien, Jamie Young, Megan, Jared Berg, Ricky Morissette, Lance Barden, Charlie Haz, Adam, Marta Thier, Michelle Forbes, MKM, Antoine Benoit, Lawrence Bradley, Eric Reed, Colby T, Gabby Young, and Grayson Ishara, with music by Audionautics. Be sure to check out our Patreon page if you're interested in supporting us on the podcast. We'd love to send you some Patreon exclusive merchandise as a thank you, plus you'll gain access to our episodes earlier than everyone else. And at the time of recording, we have over 45 bonus episodes for your listening pleasure. Find all that and more at patreon.com/thewheelweavespodcast. For general information about our show and information like how to send us shot glasses, how to join the Discord, or how to get in touch with us, visit thewheelweavespodcast.com. And as always, please be sure to give us a 5-star review because it really does make a really huge difference in helping other people find us. And tell a friend, Riyadh, because referrals really are the best compliment. Thanks so much for listening. This really is part of the pattern now.